What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to break down what is happening today, why we're going down as much as we are, what big money is doing. And despite all of that though, there is a lot of good articles that's coming out that I do want to share with you. Before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. And with that though, let's get right to it. Live ticker is going at the very bottom of the screen, currently down almost about 4%, 9 million for volume, 19 is the average, and 490,000 shares being purchased by institutions just today alone. So in general though, it is what it is. There's a lot of fear in the market and we are largely down because of this. So just popping over to Interactive Brokers, two things, one of which is the interest rate. So we all know tomorrow the Feds are going to be making a decision on the interest rate. So that's something really factoring in. And right now the consensus was 75 basis points. In my opinion, I thought that it was going to be 1% in general. So I would have already assumed it's factored into the price, but clearly not. Over and above that though, unfortunately Ford is reducing some of their Q3. It does look like they're going to be having between 40 to 45 vehicles in their inventory at the end of Q3, just sitting there waiting for some supplies. So that's definitely going to be a little bit more of a red flag. Keep in mind, what happens to Ford does not necessarily mean it will happen to Lucid. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways, especially during the Q1 earnings, when a lot of companies were starting to cite supply chain issues. Tesla and Ford were among the first ones. Lucid went down massively, but turns out that wasn't necessarily the case. So keep that in mind in the grand scheme of things. This is why sometimes it is very advisable to buy the dip. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. There is a lot of overreactions in the market and you can definitely get a lot of good deals. But getting back to it though, I just want to share with you what big money is doing. So like I said at the very bottom of the screen, block volume, 490,000 shares being purchased by institutions on the secondary market. In general, that is substantially lower than what we're used to. Over and above that though, dark pool transactions, which unfortunately is showing another similar kind of attribute, that a lot of big money is just taking a step back, waiting for whatever the decision rate is going to be tomorrow, and obviously adjusting accordingly, whether they buy the dip or whether it rallies from tomorrow, because historically, based on whenever the Feds have kind of given good guidance afterwards, despite increase in the interest rate, it does typically rally. That's obviously historically speaking, doesn't necessarily mean what might happen tomorrow. So when it comes to it though, those are the factors that is causing us to go down. But despite that though, there's a lot of good articles that is coming out that I just want to share with you. So I did share this one yesterday as far as Hyundai is showing a huge increase in just August 2022. So despite the fear, despite inflation and all that jazz, August was a very good month for Hyundai on a month over month, increasing 25%. And this one hits home a little bit closer for Lucid because Netherlands is going to be a very big hub for Lucid. And it does look like similar August 2022, it did increase 20%. So clearly, despite all of the fear in the market, a lot of people are showing a huge demand for EV vehicles. So I think right now we are investing in the right sector. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Also, over and above that, this is not necessarily for North America, but this is something goes to show about the integration of EVs into an economy and stuff like that. Because we all know by 2030, 2035, a lot of governments are really going to be progressing and moving towards EVs. And looking at this, so this is more so for Japan, and it does look like Japan is testing roads for EV wireless charging with a goal of 2025, and it is only going to cost 8 billion. I know 8 billion does sound like a lot, but for them to incorporate this, that is mind-blowing. So when I woke up and I saw this is absolutely crazy. Imagine how this could actually work on a global scale. Imagine not having to have charging stations or possibly having range anxiety. This definitely eliminates all of that, and having this infrastructure within an economy will just boost EVs so much more. So this is why we do invest in EVs, because governments, everyone and their dog is looking at EVs as the next big thing, as the future. So this is why I always make sure you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. Don't worry so much about the fear, the FUD, and all that fun jazz. You need to invest in the long term. And so I just want to share one quick thing with you, another article that I find hits really home. And so right here, Lucid is in a better financial position than most upstart EV players. The near-term headwinds should matter little in the long haul. So let that sink in for a second. When you are investing in the long haul. You should be thinking about 2025 or onwards, like incorporating this or even the Saudi factory, gravity. There's a lot of big catalysts just for Lucid alone makes it advantageous to invest in long term. My own 2 cents, obviously, like I said, these are only for entertainment purposes, these videos, so make sure you guys do your own due diligence. On the actual technicals though, we are breaking down a little bit, so tomorrow will be either a make it or break it kind of scenario for the broader market. But like I said, historically we do typically rally from that, but we are lower percentile of the Bollinger Band, do have a little bit more of a negative bearish sentiment going on with the stochastic. So red line above the black showing, like I said, a downtrend is anticipated. Momentum number of retail investors are definitely maintaining itself. So I think we do and have seen a lot of good value in Lucid itself. So I think right now we really want it to appreciate. And we do know whether it be tomorrow or a couple of weeks from now, we know eventually Lucid is going to go up. And I think a lot more people are going to be starting to diamond hand. That's my own 2 cents on how I interpret all of this. Let me know what you've been doing with Lucid in the comments below, whether you've been buying, selling, holding, whatever it is. Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you didn't tune in to the live stream I did today with the NVIDIA GTC 2022 conference, definitely take a look at that. So pop over to my channel, play it. It's not too long, only roughly about 12 minutes, and I do have chapters on there. It talks on overall what NVIDIA and Lucid are going to do together going forward for the future. So it definitely is a very good video to watch. So don't forget to, like I said, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and with that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.